Hugh, I heard something this morning
What'd you hear?
on the morning show with Jim Salisbury. He was a guest of the morning show this morning, and I thought it was really interesting considering we are 2 days away from the trade deadline. Jim's still very plugged in. He's doing the Philly show with Ruben Amaro and with Todd Zleck. He's still very plugged into the team. Listen to what Jim Salisbury said this morning about the Phillies and how veterans in the clubhouse will feel if Dave Dombrowski doesn't do something big. Here's Jim Salisbury this morning.
Players that I talk to, they want to see a move made. They want to see a move made. They'd like to see a bat come in. They'd like to see a big arm come in. They are watching this thing really closely, and there'll be some very disappointed veterans if there's not significant improvement made.
Hugh, how did that strike us? I found that fascinating because there's two ways to spin if they don't do something big. Mm-hmm. The first way to spin it is, hey, we believe in you guys, right? We don't need anything else. We have enough here, and that's what they've done the last 2 years. But you also got to think about what are they thinking about in that clubhouse, and he's saying veterans are telling him they want a move, and that tells me the front office has to take that into account. Like I think Dave Dombrowski owes it to his star veterans. I'm talking about Zach Wheeler and Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, like these JT Realmuto. These guys don't have much time left. Let's call it for what it is. Their careers are on the back end, even though a lot of them are still playing at a high level. I think he owes it to them to put their best foot forward. If we get to Thursday night, Friday morning, no big move, it sounds to me like those guys are going to be disappointed that they didn't get a boost to go try to win the World Series. What do you make of that?
I think that's a very interesting comment because when I hear that, Joe, I'm just going to take you through my thought process, so I'm probably going to long talk a little bit. But I'm thinking, number one, who's saying that? And then, number two, who you're talking about. Are you talking about the back of the order? Because I'm assuming that's who we're talking about. The back of the order as far as getting another bat, getting somebody that's going to contribute. Yeah. You're talking about the Rojas's, the Sosas, and
replacing
guys.
Those guys.
Yeah, but I'm also looking at it if I'm one of those Rojas's or Sosas, because I think that's who they're talking about.
Keplers.
Yeah,
the bottom of the lineup.
What have you been doing? I'm looking at them like, yo, who are you to say what we're not doing when you're not pulling your weight at times?
Well, to go off where you're saying, when they bring someone in, that means someone has to leave, right?
Yeah.
So they're replacing someone on the roster.
Yeah,
a teammate.
So I think that's interesting to frame it in that way, because there has been moments where guys have been protected in this lineup because of some major name that has been struggling. You know what I mean? So I think that's a lot to digest in a locker room that we've been told that is a tight-knit group. It makes me think back to when Castellanos and Topper got into it and what was going on there, if that's the way that they feel. I mean, to me, as a former player, that's a bold thing to say when you're in a locker room and everybody's rowing in the same direction.
So I wonder if part of it is 2 years in a row they didn't do big things at the trade deadline, and they didn't win. And maybe the last 2 years they were like, all right, we believe in you. And Rojas is just one small example. Like, he's just the name, right?
Yeah, that's just the name. I'm just throwing the name out.
We believe in Johan. We believe in whatever we're throwing out in left field. We believe in this relief pitcher. But maybe deep down they realize, like, hey, we've tried this 2 years in a row with these guys.
And that could be the case.
We need more.
Because I can remember vividly, when we lost the second NFC Championship game, you're thinking, okay, what are we going to do in offseason? But it was never voiced. Like, it probably was thought, never voiced. So, it's just different. But that's the first thing that came to mind when you told me that. That's the first thing I thought about.
It is an interesting parallel to your teams, right? Like, just use wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
You guys needed a wide receiver. Now, were you expressing that and telling media members off the record, like, hey, we really need a boost here? Or you just deep down you felt it? I don't remember it being voiced from players as much then.
It wasn't, but it was a thought.
I'm sure.
I mean, we
could be real. You had to know you could use
it was
an
one
upgrade.
of those things like, you look around the room, Joe, and you just look and you know what the problem is, but you won't say it because.
Well, they're your teammates.
Yeah. And you don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But I get it. But to and you know what's funny? Coming off the heels of what transpired in the locker room a couple of days ago with Bryce, and they're talking about, because I heard Bryce say something about what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room and all this other stuff.
It seemed like he was not thrilled that that conversation got out.
Yeah, but do you have that, and then you have this, players are going to be upset.
Loose lips over there.
Yeah, sinking ships. I see where Joel Embiid was coming from. You got to whoop.
No, here we go.
Don't do
what
that.
are they going to do? Find Dave Dombrowski if he doesn't make a trade now?
Kyle, where do you come down? I think Dombrowski owes it to these guys.
Yeah.
They have, for the most part, for 4 years now, played really well and got themselves a position to get in the playoffs each year. But they obviously don't have enough to win the World Series. Go help them.
Yeah, I mean, he not only that, but like he owes it to, I guess we framed it in a different way recently, like where he almost owes it to the guys who are playing as well as they are. To not squander this opportunity. Like, what are you're gonna waste this season from Zach Wheeler? You're gonna waste this season from Christopher Sanchez. Bryce Harper's looking like Bryce Harper again. You're gonna waste that. You're gonna waste Kyle Schwarber. Like, there's so much there at risk that you could potentially waste. You don't even know if Kyle Schwarber's gonna be here next season.
Or Real Muto.
Or Ranger Suarez. Like, a lot of these guys who are playing their best baseball right now, of course you owe it to them. You owe it to the fans. Like, if now is not the time, I just can't possibly. I can't conceive of a time that there would be.
Well, I heard this morning, the morning show was debating that, like whether this team really truly is worth going for it with. And I feel the same way you do. Like, to me, it's now or never. Like, 3 of their best players could be gone next year, and the ones that are left will just be older. And I mentioned this yesterday. That whole Bryce Harper-Manfred thing. That
sounded like that got a little bit of heat to it.
Well, and then the part that's not being talked about enough, and because we're all excited about like the Royal Rumble aspect of it, or Hugh talking about walking up to him with a bat. The fact that the players are saying they're willing to sit out a whole 162-game season, we could lose the 2026 season. Like, this happened once before. The last time the owners wanted a cap, 94, they canceled the rest of the season. The World Series didn't happen. So, like, there's a precedent here. So that's this window that we think, they got a few years left. Maybe not. If 2026 doesn't occur, this window is now and maybe next year.
And, Joe, the ripple effect of that is, didn't Zach Wheeler say that he's going to retire in 2027?
He's
out after 27.
Okay, so what if they do have a lockout, and then we have one season left?
I know.
Of Zach Wheeler. Like,
yeah.
The time is now.
The time is now.
When you say it like that, the weight of the moment I didn't realize it till today.
The hourglass is getting faster.
Yes,
so I think
we don't know how much time Hugh's got left.
Well,
I
that's
got
established.
You know what I mean? I've been getting ready for the room.
Hugh needs to see another World Series.
I need to see it. I need to see it.
Do it for Hugh Douglas.
Do it for you.
Because he ain't got that much time left.
Someone just tuned in like, wait, is Hugh okay?
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
Do it for Douglas.
Early
Hashtag
50s.
do it for
What's
Douglas.
happening here? All right, 215-592-9409. If you can weigh in on that as well. Does Dave Dombrowski owe it to the veterans to go get them real help? Again, when I say that, we're not talking about Michael Lorenzen and Austin Hayes and Rodolfo Castro and the nonsense that has been the last 2 deadlines. I mean real help at the deadline. It is 2 days from today.